Good morning, dear friends. Monday, June the 22nd. Planet Earth. Hello to those of you joining us on YouTube and Facebook. Please join us on Zoom if you would like more interaction. You can find the link to that at portlandinsight.org. My name's Robert Beatty, and I'm in Beaverton, Oregon, with the broadcast of the Portland Insight Meditation Community. This community that we're keeping really vibrant despite going on, how long is it now? 90 days or more of not being in our center. And actually, I know some of you have never been to the center because you're living elsewhere. So when we open, the invitation will be there to come in person. A poem. Once again, from the first free women, poems of the early Buddhist nuns. A short one. It's called Another Tissa. Find your true home on the path. Find the path right here, in the center of your own heart. If you keep searching in the past and searching in the future, you will search and search, but your searching will never end. Find your true home on the path. Find the path right here, in the center of your own heart. If you keep searching in the past and searching in the future, you will search and search, but your searching will never end. Find the path right here in the center of your own heart. There are so many bright, shiny things to go chasing after. Why not take refuge right here? In that which knows, that which is awake. In what is discovered when we come into contact with what's actually here. And the community of practice. The community of awakening beings, which is all of us. So please join me as you wish. I always say the as you wish or if you wish because of the tyranny from my early Catholic childhood. There's a practice one does when you're crossing the church, when you're crossing the center aisle, one genuflects, one goes down on one knee. I thought I would go to hell if I didn't genuflect. Something really bad would happen. And nothing really bad will happen if we don't chant these chants. But they're reminders, skillful means to help us along the way. I take refuge in the Buddha, the one who shows me the way in this life. Namo Buddhaya, Namo Buddhaya, Namo Buddhaya. I take refuge in the Dharma, the way of understanding and love. Namo Dharmaya, Namo Dharmaya, Namo Dharmaya. I take refuge in the Sangha, the community of mindful harmony. Namo Sanghaya, Namo Sanghaya, Namo Sanghaya. Sunrise over the house. Plane passes overhead. Sitting comfortably upright. It happened again. We woke up, got out of bed. It's a strange thing that we disappear for hours at night, and we need that. We woke up and did whatever morning rituals we have. Found our way at 7 o'clock Pacific time to be together. Together and to come home to the aliveness of the body. It can be so comforting, so orienting. If we put words on it with an I in it, it would be, well, here I am again, sitting with my friends, sitting with the Buddha. Sitting with the breath, sitting with the crows. Noticing that each breath has a beginning, a rising to fullness, a decline, a vanishing. becoming aware of the qualities which are present in the mind and body right now. Does it sit quietly? Mind rather quiet, body restful? Or is there restlessness? One of the ways we lead into ease and calm and tranquility is to restrain all movements. Please remember that our primary aspiration or goal is not to silence the mind. It is instead to inhabit a mind big enough, compassionate enough, awake enough to accept whatever is happening. We use mindfulness of breathing and concentration on the breath and various other objects to pay attention to in order to concentrate the mind, to suppress thoughts and emotions. But this is one strategy. It's a useful training object. But don't then turn the wandering mind into an enemy. That's exactly the wrong direction to go in. Being as intimate as possible with the actual sensations of breathing in and breathing out. Similarly intimate with the experience of the wandering mind. In a way which is exactly analogous to waking up from sleep. there is waking up from the wandering mind. It happens rather spontaneously. You can be completely lost in some wandering mind and then realize it. It might come right back in another moment, but there is that moment of waking up, of not being identified with the wandering mind. In practicing mindfulness of breathing, it's also possible to open the scope, the range of observation of the body. One can be mindful and present to the entire body and still persist in being aware of the rising and falling of the chest and abdomen, or the in and out at the nostrils. Notice the aliveness perhaps in what you call your hands, and the breathing. Notice the feet and legs. The face, the lips, the back. And still the body breathes. In the same space, the same field of awareness, this voice arises. Or the sounds of trucks backing up with their beepers. Find your true home on the path. Find the path right here in the center of your heart. If you keep searching in the past and searching in the future, you will search and search, but your searching will never end. Come right here, now. This in-breathing, this out-breathing. And so we rest back into the present moment. And we watch as life reveals itself. Watching is, of course, the wrong term, because the visual realm is only one of 6. So we stay attentive would be a better word, perhaps. We notice how phenomena come into being and then vanish. And please now be invited to leave mindfulness of in-breathing and out-breathing and take up a simple form of metta or loving kindness. You can likely hear this crow in the trees above me. Why not turn all the love in your heart toward this particular crow? Passing through a short lifetime, building a nest, raising babies in a tree, meeting with other crows to sing in the neighborhoods, born somewhere in a twig nest, and before long just falling out of the sky to become part of the earth again. And along the way to do the crow dance. And let's shift that beam of loving intention now to yourself. Not so different from the crow. Born into this lifetime somewhere. Doing your person dance. Being involved in relationships and learning and health and sickness. In the case of those of us that had the good fortune to encounter this path, cultivating very wholesome mental capacities, mindfulness, curiosity, energy, persistence, tranquility, concentration, joy. Spend a lifetime cultivating wholesomeness. And then we too then will become part of the earth again. Who knows what goes on after? But the journey is worthy of our full attention. And we are worthy of our complete, loving, compassionate attention. And let's think of one other person whom it's easy to love. They could be alive or could already have passed away. What would be your kindest thoughts for this person? Or perhaps it's an imagination of golden or white light surrounding them. Maybe it's a feeling in the heart or just an inclination of the mind in that way. Oh, I hope they're healthy and happy today. I'm going to close this morning with another poem from the first Free Women. It's the one on the next page. self-reliant. Look closely in my heart. See how all things arise and pass away. Even that which is turning the shapes on this page into the sounds and thoughts you are right now, silently speaking to yourself. When you no longer need to read the signs to find your way, you'll know for yourself that books and maps can only get you so far. There is a direct path. Look closely in my heart, see how all things arise and pass away. Even that which is turning the shapes on this page into the sounds and thoughts you are right now, silently speaking to yourself. When you no longer need to read the signs to find your way, you'll know for yourself that books and maps can only get you so far. There is a direct path. And so we sit in the intimate embrace of the body and attention, concentration. Right here, right now. And please prepare to let your eyes open. I always like to do that by remembering to feel them first, to be in the eyes. And then to notice what's required, and then let them open. Let them open and see objects, phenomena. Some of them are pictures of people moving. Alicia, would you like to do a little update on... Oh, there you are, down in the left-hand corner. Hi. Would you like to do a little update, please?
I would. Good morning, everyone. I always think it's so funny that you are searching for me, Robert, because I'm always on my screen right next to you, which makes me feel very important. Good morning, everyone.
That's a good design.
Exactly. I feel very close to you. Good morning, everyone. Monday morning, we are continuing gently toward our goal to create a safe, secure, comfortable, weather-resistant, or I guess all-weather shelter for our broadcasting center, remote broadcasting center. And we are closing in on 80% there or so. So thank you so much. Every time I look, there's a little bit more. And I'm always so grateful for your generosity. So I will post the link, and we will continue. And please remember also to give as you are able directly to PIMC for its operations. So thank you.
Thank you, Alicia. I made, in the last few days, I made a flat spot, and it's got 2x4s around it, and I'm moving gravel, and the shed is ordered, and the electrical is the next goal to become fully financed, and then some sheetrock, and we'll be done.
So the foundation is laid.
It is. I had to move our compost bins to do it, and that was kind of grisly. But way down at the bottom of the compost,
very fertile ground.
It's fertile ground.
For the broadcasting center.
Mm-hmm. So I think I'd like to just open it up to what's happening for you this morning. It's another glorious day here, and I can see the carrots growing almost in the garden. It's just amazing how life is burgeoning here. It is a drag with the garden in a way, isn't it? Because you plant lettuce and it's all ready at the same time, and then you got to plant again. They always say put another batch in 2 weeks later, but I never do that. So now we have all this extra lettuce. However, there is a place quite nearby that I can take extra food and give it to people who are hungry. There's a very nice organization that does that, so that's a lovely thing. So what's up with you folks? How is it unfolding for you? And do you have a question or comment?
Hi, Robert.
I hear someone.
It's Carol,
Hello, Carol.
Quadra Island. So I would like to express appreciation for your commitment to being with us every morning, and just say that it's been a huge help to me over the last couple months to kind of ease my way through everything. So I've been mainly on Facebook. I feel a connection with everybody. So thank you all. You have a question related to sleeping or maybe not sleeping. Yeah, fortunately, for most of my life, I've been recently, many of us have engaged with a challenge, and when I have good nights, I focus on breath and kind of just get away, which is wonderful. But when I have the more challenging nights, I find that as I'm about to drift off into sleep or start to dream, there's part of the mind that kicks in and is vigilant and catches that and wakes me up, and it can happen over and over. And I'm assuming that is ego mind, not awareness, because why would awareness not want me to sleep? So it's just become a curiosity for me how, during my practice, I'm trying to be mindful of my thoughts, and then when it's time to let go, there's this. Anyway, I don't know if you have any thoughts.
I do. I actually have a recommendation for any of us that have sleeping issues. There's a website called Restful Insomnia. And I think if you go there, it's created by one of my students, and that's her work. And Sandra is her name, and she knows a lot about mindfulness and sleep difficulties. She also works individually with people, I'm sure now over the net. And I have a recommendation, which is what I do myself, which is when sleep is not coming, get up, dress nicely and warmly, avoid bright lights, go and sit on your meditation spot until you get into the sloth and torpors, and then slide back into bed. And you might be awake an hour or 2 hours, and if you if you can't sit anymore, get up and do walking meditation. One of the memories I have of the last months with Ruth Dennison, I was there a couple of times, and my bed was in the living room, the pull-out couch, and in the middle of the night there would be Ruth with her walker doing walking meditation back and forth at the foot of my bed in the living room. So one of the things that happens is when, just as we're about to drift off into sleep, some memory or something will kick in, and we don't have enough mindfulness to notice it coming and going, and so then we get reactive to it, and then there's a little kick of adrenaline, and then we're awake. And so lying down doesn't do it, and it's really a pain to get up in the night. The house is cool, blah blah blah, but you could also just sit up in bed. But until you get into the nods, and maybe see how that works. But Sandra Kornblatt is the person. Then that website is restfulinsomnia.com.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I have to admit I've spent many hours up meditating in the night. Yes, I will definitely check that out. Thank you so much.
Sleep. My experience of sleep is that it's become more fragile as I've aged. And also, actually, I've had a big help in my sleeping in the last few months. I guess it's half a year now. I started using a CPAP machine because I had an intuition that my sleep was screwy, and I got a little cheap app for my watch, and it said your sleep is bad. So I went and had a sleep study, and I had moderate to severe sleep apnea. And I don't now because the machine works. And that's different. I sleep more hours each night and much more restfully. Though it is weird. Jennifer and I have a whole routine, She's taking out her hearing aids out, and I'm saying, mask on, and the fighter pilot mask, and the breathing. But it's worth it for some sleep. So may you be blessed with great sleep.
Thank you. And you too.
With the cool night air of Quadra.
Yes, I feel very blessed, and blessed to be with all of you. Thanks again.
Yeah, you're lucky to live there.
Robert, this is Had.
Hello, Had.
Hi, I'm just marveling at this practice we're doing it's 2,600 years now, and I marvel that we're doing it over Zoom technology now. However, the the human brain we have is exactly the same that the Buddha had 2,600 years ago. That hasn't changed, and we've seen civilizations come and go, and just look at the expanse of history and how we are sitting here with the state-of-the-art human technology in our skin.
Thanks, Ed.
Hey, Robert.
I
Can you hear
hear.
me?
I hear. Oh, it's KB. Hello.
How are you, dear?
I am basking right now. There's sun on that quadrant of the tent, and the heat coming from there. It's like lying on the beach. It's really nice. It's
Sounds
nice.
wonderful.
It's a bit bright.
I just wanted to tell you, how they say you really know a language when you start to dream in it?
Yes.
I'm dreaming in Zoom. I'm not kidding you. I'm dreaming in Zoom. I have to go through Zoom to talk to people and to interact with them in my dreams.
I see.
Isn't that weird?
It's it makes sense though.
Yeah, it's been quite a while. I just wanted to say that I'm very much getting the sense lately that my cares are like a big heavy cloak, and I can take it off and put it on when I'm mindful. Only when I'm mindful. The rest of the time, it's strapped on there.
Right.
So I just wanted to say I have been experiencing that, which I know is progress.
What's that song? Put on your cares away. Come on, get happy. Come on.
Oh yes, that's Judy Garland. Come on, get happy.
Come on, get happy. Let all your cares go away.
So
Thank you, KB. Do you suppose this is the dream right now? We're dreaming that we're on Zoom.
I dream when I have to find somebody, I have to go to my phone, I have to get on Zoom to find them. It's so bizarre.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to follow up on KB's revelation, if I might. Good morning, Sangha. Good morning, Robert.
Hello, Jessica.
And it just, this morning, I, for the first time, really, I think, had that moment of awareness on no enemy images, including Mara, including when I beat myself up. And I know, I suspect this, will not stay with me as much as I'd like it to be there, foundational. But it was so exciting. I was like, oh, yeah, no enemy images. Mara, this is just a part of what it is. And I see it and it comes and I have to really settle in and just go, that's okay. And it was just such a relief. So anyways, that when KB said that, I remembered that was such a lovely part of this morning's sit. So thank you. Yay, KB.
May it persist. The practice of sympathetic joy, may that happiness and relief from that enemy imaging part of consciousness grow and persist. And I delight in it with you. Yeah.
Bert, this is Jim.
Jim,
And,
good morning.
I had a delightful afternoon yesterday with my grandkids. Well, 3 of my 4 grandkids. And one of the gifts that I received is this, I don't know if you can see it.
It's a frog.
It's a frog sheltering in place. And about, 10 years ago, the kids decided they have 3 grandparents, 3 sets of grandparents, and 3 grandfathers. And they were saying, you're all so different. You act different. And so we were working out totems for the grandfathers. One of them is Papa Airplane. And his totem is airplanes and tractors and 4x4, what do you call them? Quad. Anyway, there's four-wheel drive little carts that go around. And the other grandpa loves to cook, and so they decided he was a stir-fry bowl of pasta. And I was a frog, because I was always different. I was always changing. I was always looking for something, changing. So we had a long conversation about tadpoles, and so they've given me frogs over and over and over again for Christmas and birthday. And now they found one that's sheltering in place.
Nice.
Wonderful.
Good morning, Robert and Sangha. This is Paula Cooney in Washington.
Hi, Palakini.
Hi there. Oh well, on Saturday, I joined the Zoom and I waited and waited for you. And I think about 7:45, I gave up, and it was later in the day that I realized oh, it's Saturday. There's no song out,
Mm-hmm.
and I really missed it. So I'm glad to be here again with everybody. Thank you. And I just wondered if you might have some thoughts. I am 67, retired for a couple of years, and I am starting a private business. Something that I've always wanted to do. I formerly worked for public health, and things are unfolding really, really beautifully. Like, there's some divine guidance in here, and it really is lovely. And yesterday, I started feeling a little panicky. What if this doesn't work? What if people don't come? What if I'm discouraged some way? And I want to push that away and then start like making a list of things to keep me busy towards the end of opening my practice. But I thought you might have some thoughts about that.
Well, I have the least undesirable thought. No, the least desirable thought, which is why push it away.
Oh.
If those thoughts are there, they're there, and there's some anxiety. You're starting a new endeavor, and it's quite. I mean, it happens with new endeavors that they don't work, so it could not. And how?
Oh, thanks, Bob.
what I'm inferring from behind what you're saying is there's a belief that we have that's not uncommon in our culture, or actually around the world, is that if you allow thoughts of the quote negative variety, then you'll cause the thing to fail, as though the thoughts themselves were causative. I've had people say, don't think that. Don't think a negative thought, because that'll make it happen. That's not true. Just like thinking a positive thought won't make it happen. It's our actions that make things happen. And so if you can be open to the thoughts of, maybe this won't work, and then you'll see that side of your character, your personality. And then there will be the other thoughts, which one emphasizes, which is, well, what are the steps I can take to make this happen? It's such a relief to not have to keep, quote, negative thoughts away. To see them as empty of self. They just come into being and go away.
Got it. Thank you very much. That makes total sense to me.
It's the central paradigm. It's the central paradigm of these teachings. Turn toward whatever's happening and open to it.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks for calling.
But Robert, further to that, doesn't intention come before action?
Yes. That's why I always do that thing with the eyes. It's a very simple intention, but it's very clear. To notice, here's my eyes, I'm intending, here's this intention, and then there's the effort that's required to open the eyes. And we can have unpleasant, negative, even illegal intentions arise. But if we see them arising, then we have choice whether we pursue that or not. And then we plant our garden full of more wholesome things that are in keeping with the precepts and what we really, really want.
Can I add to that 1 second?
Hello, KB.
Hi. I just wanted to add, I had my own business now for about, 15 years. And it gets to the point where it's like an organ in your body. Your business, you can feel when things are good and you can feel when things are not. And I just wanted to say that when those thoughts come up, I know that they're helpful thoughts trying to tell me something. And I try to, sort of sift them down to the essential, oh, I'm worried about that because this would be a wise way to go. And I'm not doing that yet. And then I try to use it to find my way.
Thanks, KB. Well, we're a little after 8. I want to just had an intrusive thought. In my early 20s, I spent a year in Australia. I actually worked as a cowboy just outside of, it's called a jackaroo, mighty, outside Alice Springs. And they drank a lot. I was right there with them. And there was the last call. And the bartender would yell out, last call. And everyone would buy a lot of beers. And so I was just tempted. I say, it's last call. Do you have anything to share? It was quite a different context. It's the last call, mighty.
Robert, basic question. For all of us in the Sangha, how would you coach us to consciously use our mindfulness practice in being with pandemic, climate change, everything that is shooting at us in the world of our lives? How would you coach us in just being aware of, what is this meditation benefiting me from in my life with this, all of the onslaught, which is maybe no different than any other day?
I think it's to be with what is in the moment.
Perfect.
It's a way that meditation is. We market meditation like snake oil. It's good for everything, and it is. It really is, because we're dealing with the operating system of the human consciousness, and it affects everything. And I say this, and I really believe it, that the single most effective thing any of us can do for climate change, for racial justice, for marital happiness, for raising our kids, is to meditate, to take care of our own consciousness. And then the actions that we take stand a chance of being rooted in non-greed, non-hatred, and non-ignorance. But if we're acting out of greed, hatred, and ignorance, we become the problem, no matter what problem we're trying to solve in the world. So, snake oil. It's good for what ails you, folks. Any last person to share? All right, I think we're getting close. I see a young man right there. Okay, let's do our chanting together, our singing, and I'll look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Unmuting all, here we go. May all beings be happy. May all beings be happy. May all beings be happy. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Thank you, dear ones. Have a lovely day. We end in the cacophony of life.
Bye, Tim.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye, Tim.
Have a lovely mindful day. Thank you, Alicia.
Hi, Lorraine.
And here we go. Goodbye, dear friends on YouTube and Facebook. Thanks for joining us this morning.